Hazian Prime has been destroyed, and our heroes are looking for a way to get the First Order off the Colossus. I'm John Berry, and welcome to the final review of Star Wars Resistance Season 1. So today, we're going to be reviewing Star Wars Resistance No Escape Part 2. One of my predictions involving Tam came true. I had like 10 predictions involving Tam, so it was really easy for one of them to become true. But anyhow, so this episode establishes without a doubt that the Colossus is a ship. And what I really liked is how when Captain Dozer was informed that they were going to try to fly out of there, that the Colossus has been flown in 20 years, kind of giving us an indication of how old it is, at least as a station. So I thought that was kind of interesting to how that was done. And of course, there's just so many nice, good moments. This is, I think, Resistance at its finest, and I do mean finest. Kaz was not goofy at all. I mean, he was not goofy once. Really. I think the other characters were goofier than Kaz. But let's remember, Kaz did, at the end of this episode, and the recap at the start of this episode, see his home planet destroyed. He pretty much had his serious face on the entire time. So, no goofiness from Kaz, which I think also does help show how high the stakes are. And there's so much other stuff going on in this episode. There really is so much good stuff. And it was ingenious how they got rid of the First Order. They literally just flushed the First Order out of the station. Quite literally, because they had to release water so that way they could make the ship light enough to go into space. The Colossus light enough to actually exit the planet. So what they did, they lured the stormtroopers to a corridor, flooded the corridor, and flushed the water out with the troopers. That was actually quite ingenious. And the First Order, we lost another squad. I think the specific thing we saw was, we lost our fifth squad of stormtroopers, and just kept on going and going. But that was, I think, a very excellent scene. Because it really shows some ingenious way. And then, of course, they reclaimed the station, and they set the thrusters up to go up. And that's also when the key scene involving Tam goes on, right? It starts before they ignite the thrusters for the Colossus, and it plays in them igniting it to them talking to Tam. Because they tried to get Tam to come back and join them in the Colossus. And you can tell she is hesitant. But she ends up going to the First Order. But she is hesitant. And I think, I was afraid this was going to happen. I think story-wise, I think it will be very interesting in Season 2. Because I have a feeling there's going to be conflict. And they'll still be wanting to try to get Tam to come back. But essentially, Tam was suckered in by the First Order's lies. But I also feel like the characters, failed to get their point across. Especially Kaz. But I can tell in his voice, the voice actor was able to put the right emotions in. I think it's the writing that failed, trying to get the point across. And that might have been on purpose, I don't know. But the voice actor did put the necessary emotion in. It's just what was said wasn't enough. So, I think it was on purpose that what was said wasn't enough, was done on purpose, which makes sense. But I also felt like it was lacking something as an audience member. I thought it was lacking something, which I think helps make it reasonable that Tam would decide to go with the First Order. But it was very clear that she was still hesitant to go with the First Order, implying that perhaps by the end of Season 2 she might come around again and join the Resistance. That would make a good story for Season 2. And let's see, what else about this episode? Of course, the Aces go to defend the Colossus from TIE fighters as the Colossus is rising out of the sea. And all the Aces, and I do mean all of them, including the one whose ship looks like it was made out of old TIE parts and was a TIE pilot helmet. It might have been an Imperial one time, but they're he is, I forget his name, but helping defend the Colossus from the First Order. I do wonder if the First Order tried to recruit him at all. Just because, former Imperial. I don't know for sure, but I thought that contrast showing that just because you might have supported the Empire doesn't mean you will support the First Order. There's also good things too. Of course, we get to see Yeager fly as well. Kaz flies a fireball. And what's another thing about it? And I really liked the Red TIE Fighter pilot, Baron von Reg, I think is his name. Kaz was able to take him out, not through, regular dogfighting, but he used the Colossus to his advantage. Cut through the kind of an open area of the Colossus, and was able to catch him by surprise, and saving Yeager's life in the process. That, I think, was a very ingenious use of not only the set design, but also Kaz's flying ability, which I think was kind of set up in the episode of the Core Problem, flying through the core of a planet with all those obstacles. That kind of set up for this episode. At least that's what I felt like when I was watching this episode. And the pirates also show up to give an aid. Not much of an aid. And of course, Sonara was taking lead on that. But they board the Colossus and leave the system with the Colossus. And of course, the entire pirate crew is there too, including the pirate captain. So Sonara was obviously able to convince him to go help the Colossus. Not too much of a difficulty because the pirates were betrayed by the First Order. So another thing too. The pirates end up getting the Colossus by helping defend it from the First Order. Now they're aboard. So the ship, I don't know if it's space-worthy. It's implied that it can be space-worthy, I don't know. But in the scene where we see the pirates helping defend the station, Sonara takes the lead, not the pirate captain, which I think is kind of interesting. And then, of course, Captain Dozer also activates the Colossus's defenses to help fight off the TIE fighters. And a Star Destroyer shows up, fires on the Colossus, and the Colossus does have shields, which is probably good because that Star Destroyer would have probably ripped through it. But, it's just a neat little scene. They're also seeing the Colossus rise up, and it's a very unique design. I don't think the Colossus was an Imperial designed ship. I think it was some other design, but what kind, I'm not so sure. But it was very neat to see also the hyperdrive, and of course Kaz gives Niku coordinates, and the coordinates are for the car. When Princess Leia, General Leia gave Kaz the coordinates, we were all, or at least I was, and some other people were speculating on what those coordinates was. Was it the car, crate, or maybe some other planet? We end up finding in this episode it was the car. And so it's implied that they're going to the car. Then why don't we see them in The Last Jedi, you might be asking? Well, there's a couple of speculative reasons already, but we get a very good one. Niku didn't have the time to put in the entire coordinates, so he just, put in some random coordinates, so they don't know where they're going. Of course, they could have also, if they did go to the car, have it they left before The Last Jedi. That's what happened in the Battlefront 2 Resurrection DLC campaign. That's what happens to those two characters. They end up, never mind that. Actually, not so much never mind, but, can you go find some allies? Hey, that would be neat. Get, Shriv and, Aiden's daughter, have them bump into Colossus Season 2. I hope they do that, because that'd be a good, neat little way. Another thing is, they just got there after The Last Jedi. That's what I was expecting. I was expecting them to come out of the hyperspace and see the Resistance space destroyed. But in a way, this is kind of better, because now even the First Order wouldn't even know where they're going then. If they don't know where they're going. Also, I should say that Aunt B and Hype Phazon came back, still in the First Order troop transport, and helping fight off Tizen. It's just like it's just great. But I do wonder what happened to Hype's ship. The First Order said they were going to scrap it, but has it been scrapped? I honestly don't know. I also want to dedicate you Takadana. Because I think it would be fun if they mentioned, we got you Takadana and Mother's Castle was destroyed. I would have loved that as a storyline. But they didn't include it. Maybe they wouldn't even add Takadana yet, who knows. But it's kind of neat to see them come back. So where is the season 2 going to go? No idea. But this was a good ending for season 1. It leaves some open ends for future story development, which is a good thing. Where they're going, what's going to be Tam's ultimate fate, and a few other smaller questions, but those are the 2 big ones. So I do wonder where it's going to go, but they close the big important stuff. And what they leave open is, in a way, satisfying. They got away from the first order. Satisfying. They don't know where they're going. Who cares? They got away. Tam, what's going to be her ultimate fate? Well, we know what's happening to her right now. She's joining the first order, and if we don't get any more story out of it, that's where we can just assume that she joined the first order. But if we find out more, that will still be a good thing as well. So I really do like how the 2 big questions left, you can rationalize away with easy what we already know. Which I think is very good. I do wonder where that stuff is going, but the main answers have been answered. That's really all I have for my review, so if you have any questions you want to ask me about the episode and Resistance, ask them, share your thoughts about it. I would love to hear from you and open up a conversation. Actually, there's a better place we can talk. Discord. The link to my Discord server is in the link below. And I do want to say, interaction will give you roles on my Discord. The more you interact, the higher the role you get. But you don't get anything special from having those roles. Sorry. You just get a neat little label. But if you really want to have something special out of your roles on Discord, consider supporting me for $2 or more on Patreon. There you get a role and you get a private chat where you can chat directly, more directly with me, you can say. But you get to, it's just a smaller community. No, not as many voices, you can say. You can cut through the chat much quicker over there. But I have my Discord opened up to everyone, because I do want to talk with everyone. And Discord is excellent for talking. There's both voice and text chats. I personally prefer the text chat, but when I'm gaming, I'll probably open up a voice chat. But really, I do thank you for watching my reviews of Star Wars Resistance. We've had a good run. I didn't review every single episode. Some of those early episodes were kind of hard to review. But the second half of the season has been very good and it's picked up a lot. And I really enjoyed the second half of season 2. And I think this, No Escape Part 2, might just be the best episode. So that's really all I have to say. Just gotta wait for something new to review. I will be reviewing DuckTales to just have another review going. Too bad I didn't have an episode this week. That I could find, I should say. So yeah, so thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, as I said earlier. Subscribe, as I said earlier, for future content. And as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you, always.